Hi, I'm Dana Cruikshank with the National Science Foundation. Computer scientists have recently...
Shank, you're late for the staff meeting.
Sure, I'll be there in just 1 minute.
Shank, your wife's on the phone. Something about picking up your kid at daycare a half hour ago?
Okay, thanks.
Shank, there's only fruit roll-ups left in the vending machine.
Do you ever wish you could make a copy of yourself and be in two places at once? Turns out it might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Computer scientists are working on developing highly sophisticated avatars that can look like you, can have all your information, and can even answer questions acting like you. Joining me today to discuss this is Dr. Jason Lee at the University of Illinois at Chicago. Dr. Lee, thanks for joining us today.
So the project is called lifelike, and the goal is to try and create virtual representations of people that is as realistic as possible. So not only are we talking about visual realism, but gestural as well as voice and intelligence. And we hope that this kind of technology can be used as a way to almost create archival copies of people. If you imagine you had an important person that you want to archive for the future, right? Like, for example, President Obama, for example. Right now, the only kinds of technologies that we have for archival are video, audio, and text. So using this research, we hope to be able to bring a whole new medium for archival, which is computer-generated avatars or 3D representations of people.
So it's possible to actually converse with these avatars, correct?
That's the ultimate goal, yes. I mean, we're developing the application in a very limited domain right now because the intelligence part is very difficult, and it's been conducted in collaboration with our other researchers at University of Central Florida who are specifically focusing on the artificial intelligence part of it.
I see. Well, you mentioned the intelligence part. What are some of the other challenges in developing lifelike? So
the other challenges are visual realism, right? More than 70% of communication is actually nonverbal. Right? We gain a lot from seeing the little twitches in our eyes or the little movements in our noses and mouths, right? So we want to try and figure out how to capture as much of that nonverbal communication as possible. And so as part of our project team, we have faculty from the communications department who are working with us, conducting studies on a large group of subjects to determine how realistic is our avatar. And we've been able to track this so that each generation of our avatar hopefully has become more and more realistic.
I see. And I know you've been using lifelike and in demonstrations and whatnot. What's been the reaction of people when they interact with the avatar?
I think the most positive interaction is when we have a speaker who's really not computer savvy at all. They're not one of these techno geek types. And they will sit in front of the avatar and actually begin to converse with it as if this was a real person. We were really shocked by that. And so this really gave us hope that people can potentially start communicating with this character as if it were a real person.
Huh, wow. So what's next for this research? What would you like to tackle next?
Okay, so this is really, really exciting for us. So far, if you look at a lot of the work that's been going on out there in avatars, you've seen them in video games, like in Second Life or in World of Warcraft. And so in these worlds, we as humans have to create virtual representations of ourselves and put ourselves into this virtual world. Now we're thinking, we want to do the reverse. We want to get the avatars out of the box. We want to put them in the real world and interact with us. We're going to put sensors on these avatars so they can actually sense more deeply what's going on in the environment. So they have cameras to look at what you're doing. We'll have maybe additional sensors to determine if you're panicked or you're worried or you're happy or you're sad, facial recognition and things like that. So really try and bring the avatar into our world, as it were. And that's going to be a major technological challenge.